Executing marketing projects involves a lot of moving parts and organization to ensure on-time delivery and project success. So today, I'll be guiding you through the process of setting up a new project in Asana, breaking down activities into manageable tasks, automating these tasks, setting dependencies, and even integrating tools like Slack for better communication. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Marquis, and I'm an Asana partner and the CEO of Surface. I create videos every week on Asana and its various use cases to help you get the most out of this powerful tool. So make sure you're subscribed to stay updated and get notified whenever a new video is released. Now let's get started. I'm going to be showing you a few things today. So we have this project set up where the whole premise is we're going to be releasing and collaborating on creating an ebook. So I guess the use case could be you're a marketing manager overseeing this campaign that we're rolling out. So I'm not going to set up the project from scratch. As you can see, we've already got the framework here. If you're not familiar with how to set up a project and tasks and sections, then I have lots of great videos on those. You can check them out here or there, whichever side it pops up on. But I'm going to be taking you through just kind of the approach to project planning, creating tasks, assigning those tasks, and then organizing those tasks. We'll also be looking at some dependencies here. So within our project, again, the premise is we have this ebook set out, we have all these sections. And so typically, and the reason why I'm taking this approach and showing you this way is typically I'll see projects where instead of the phases that you would go through to actually, create an asset like this or design an asset like this and gain the various levels of approvals, we actually have the different channels in this case. So instead of planning phase, I would see ebook. And then instead of content creation, we would see email campaign. And instead of editing and revision, we would see social media campaign. And then we go down to the task level, and rather than the stages that task or that campaign or that asset needs to go through to be developed, I'm actually seeing these tasks as projects. And so what I'm going to show you here is just how to zoom out a little bit and get a bit more granular. And I'm going to be releasing some videos after this one that will actually show us how to better manage those projects at a high level, get all the information we need in a dashboard format, and see status on all of our ongoing campaigns as well. So here in our planning phase, we have defined target audience and goals. We're researching the competitor on the ebooks. We have assignees. And so this project, if we go over to the overview, started yesterday. And so we have until May 15th. So all the dates are cascading until that launch date on May 15th. So what I want to show you here is just how you can set this up. So we have our different phases: content creation, editing and revisions, then design and formatting, and then our final launch. So what I really want to highlight here is when you're setting something like this up, a lot of the questions I get are, how do I know when it's my turn to work on something? If we're working with teams, will they be notified? How will we know? My teams have tasks everywhere. And so we want to make sure that everyone is always on the same page. And so what we have here, we've set up some dependencies between these tasks. So as an example, outline ebook structure is blocking draft main chapters, which is this task right here. And so I also want to draw attention to our task status. This is going to be really important because this will help us to better organize these tasks and see the stage that everything is really at. So if I flip over to my timeline really quickly here, you'll see that we've basically just drawn dependencies to various tasks along our timeline here leading up until our eventual launch. And so if you're not familiar with how to do that, there are two ways. You can just go on the timeline and slip and drag your dependency and draw the line directly to it. Or if we're in the task details, we can simply go to the dependencies option and then click that plus to search for the task that we want to either block or have blocking another task. And so the way that this will work here is when we click on complete here, you'll notice this says blocked, okay, because we're connected to that. We've now not only unblocked this task here, okay, but now this is ready to start. And then because of the automations we've set up, right, this task is now set to completed. So what will happen is, in this case, Happy Gilmore completed the first task, and in the second case, Test B here will then get a notification that this task went from blocked to ready to start. So now Test B is going to get that notification in their inbox to start this task. And so that's one of the ways that we can keep everyone informed and on the same page. What's nice about this as well is there are always new things that need to come in. So as we are planning and executing, there are things that come up, whether there are blockers or things that we didn't identify in our planning stages that we need to add into this. So how do we do that in a more concise way and make sure that everyone is updated on what those changes are? Let's scroll down here. What I have here is a section called requests. And so in this case, Ray said change main color of logo to blue. Happy said, additional channel or chapter about burnout. So we want to add in some content. So all we've done in that case is created this form right here. And so anytime this form is submitted, it's going to take the information from the request, the priority of that request, and then the due date, the hopeful due date of what that request is. And once this form is submitted, we've set up a rule already that when it is requested, we have a new request, it's automatically going to go to that section, okay? And it's going to go be assigned as ready to start, which means someone can then triage this request and then start working on it. As a proud Asana partner, Surface specializes in building projects and portfolios to streamline and automate marketing processes. If you're a marketing manager, VP, or director, and you're looking to transition your team to Asana, and you're overwhelmed by the prospect of moving all of your marketing projects and workflows to the new platform, don't sweat it. At Surface, we handle everything from A to Z, from mapping all of your processes to the data migration and even training your team to ensure alignment and efficient use of the tool. So if you're considering moving to Asana, click the link below and book a call with us to learn more. So I'm going to show you one more example of how the dependencies can work to help us in our planning, and then I'm going to show you how we can improve our communication around this as well. So here's another task here that is blocking our develop supporting graphics illustration. So here's that task right here in the content creation side. As you can see, it's blocked. So again, once we click complete, we've basically just set up the automation that it will go to complete, and then it will set this to ready to start. And if you're not familiar with how to set up those automations, we're doing this here. So an example would be when the task is no longer blocked, right? Meaning when the task is completed, we want to set that task to ready to start. So anytime that these fields are changed, it's going to update this field and then subsequently unblock those tasks. Now, I mentioned that we want to get better visibility on the status of our tasks. So we've set up this dashboard here that's showing us a few things. This is showing us the tasks by priority level, so we can see how many we have in each stage. We have 10 high priority that are, not completed yet. Then we have tasks by status. We can see we have 7 that are blocked. We have 11 that are ready to start. And then we have 2 that are completed. We can see tasks by assignee and then tasks by completion status. Then when we get to our status update, of course, we can always set the status and we can take a look at our project and see how we're doing. We can set it as on track. We can fill in the various, let's open these up. We can fill in the various stages, right? So area is our channel in this case. This is our ebook, and this would be able to ladder up to our portfolio eventually, put together our summary, and then everyone who needs to, be notified of the status will be. We can post that. Obviously, we have messages in here that can keep people updated as we go through. But one of the last things I want to show you, and a question I get asked a lot is, what if, I have a team outside of Asana that's not in the tool but needs to be notified on what's going on, right? Maybe you're in Slack or you're in Teams and you need to understand what the status is at any given point. And so what we can do for that, we've actually gotten it started here, is set up an automation that when any of these, tasks are completed, we can basically open it up and send the notification out to someone outside of Slack. So what I'm going to do, go and add that rule and create a custom rule. And we can simply say, let's say a task is no longer blocked. We can add an action, go to our external action, and either send to a channel or to a direct person. So if there was a channel, outside that we could, connect Slack to, I'm not going to connect to Slack right now, but let's just assume that Slack is connected. You would basically have a space where you can add in a comment right here, and then you can mention that person, and Slack will allow you to either mention that person or it will allow you to mention that channel as well. So these are some great ways that you can communicate around your different tasks. So that's all for today's video on setting up managing marketing projects in Asana. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you found this video useful and that it helps you to implement new strategies into your own projects. So let me know if you have any video requests or questions in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.